Good morning, everybody. If you've come looking for what's in your way today, how to get around it, and how you can be more mindful during the process, you've come to the right place. Good morning. My name is Seth. I run Comingouttarot.com. You can always find out more about me and how to get readings with me over there at the shop. It is Thursday. We're almost to the week. We made it past hump day, and we're getting closer to Thanksgiving for those of you in the U.S., which means we're in between an election period and a holiday, and for a lot of people, that's kind of rough. So I hope this kind of thing is helpful for you as you're trying to navigate what's in your way today and how you can be more mindful about it. All right, let's get these cards in the right order. Obstacle today. How are we going to get around it? Good morning. And I can be more mindful during the process. Using the Wild Unknown Tarot today. Ooh, we got fire and a whole bunch of air, which means we're gonna be in a headspace today. But what's interesting is that it's like that fire's going out. That instead of the fire ramping up and being like a driving energy, it's which is what we're hoping is happening in California. But let's get to what this obstacle is today. Our obstacle is the Daughter of Wands. How we're going to get around that is the Six of Swords, and how you can be more mindful today, the Two of Swords. So while the energy may be fizzling, our biggest challenge today is actually how we learn, what we learn, and how we talk about what we're trying to learn. Not necessarily what we have been learning, but what we're trying to learn. So as you are learning something new or going through a new experience and you're trying to take it in, and you're thinking about, Monty has impeccable timing, doesn't he? About scratching and stuff. And how you're trying to figure out how you take that to the next level, where you take it next, how you better understand it. Communication of those ideas, of those concepts, of your misunderstanding or possibly misunderstanding of what it is that you're learning is the most effective way to find out if you're right, if you're wrong, or how to get to that next stage. So your challenge today is actually in how you are communicating effectively. What you may not realize is that you are communicating in a way that feels effective to you, but communication is in the message being received, right? You can talk all you want, but if somebody doesn't understand what you're saying, then communication really didn't take place. So you may need to alter your message to be understood by the person who is receiving it so that you get what you need. Because I think you know how to articulate what you want, but if the other person doesn't know how to receive it, you may need to shift your message so that you're getting what you need. So how do you do that? What's that action look like? This is the Six of Swords. I think that successful arguments always tend to be in the annals of history. What I mean by that is we only write down who wins. We never write down the story of the loser, for two very subjective terms. We only write down the story of the person who wins. So when you read your history book, you're reading about the culture or the dominant culture or the winning culture. Good morning, Ash. You rarely, if ever, learn about the culture that didn't come out on top. So, in your effort to have better communication, the understanding of that other side of the argument is going to help you express yourself about what you're trying to understand for the argument you want to be the winning argument. So you need both sides of the coin. Success is possible here, but it's going to take both sides of the coin, both sides of the sword. Got a double-edged sword. Let's talk about that one instead of the coins. You can have both sides of the sword, and if you only cutting with one side, then the other side stays sharp, but one side gets dull. and eventually you have an imbalanced sword. So both sides of the sword are what is important today as you're communicating. This is what I don't understand, so that that other person can better understand what it is that you're trying to achieve. All right, how can you be more mindful during the process? Two of Swords. Have you ever held two swords? If you've never held two swords in your hand, they're actually pretty heavy, and it takes a lot of effort to hold two swords. And if you're holding two swords, especially like this, they could either cut your throat or they're extremely defensive, one of the two. So in your effort to communicate, are you protecting yourself by not going all out on what it is that you need to ask? Or are you about to cut your throat because you probably went about it the wrong way? You've got two choices. You've got the choice to come with your questions and your ideas to the person that you want to communicate with in a way that is a strategy that they will receive it, or come charging in and use a strategy that may cause you to cut your own throat. So the mindfulness exercise today is, how do you approach learning something new when you need more information from someone else? All you have to do is pay attention to how you communicate. And then decide if you want to continue to communicate that way and take that further into the rest of your life in a way that will allow you to be more successful communicating in the future. Just like Laverne. Laverne communicates. She's grumpy this morning. I don't know if you can tell. I can tell she's grumpy this morning. Laverne communicates by, oh, you just got Laxatone yesterday. What's that about? Sometimes she digs at my feet. Sometimes she jumps on my leg. Sometimes she comes up and bites my toe. And sometimes she tries to crawl over me to get on the counter. So she communicates with her body. And sometimes her choices are not the best choices, like when she bites me on the toe. But she gets her point across. But am I going to let her do it again? Probably not. I think you're tired today. Yep. Her wheels are turning. She's trying to decide what she can get into from here. But she's also resting her head. Big sigh. She's tired. Yes. All right, everybody. I hope this was helpful. If it was, please check out Comingouttarot.com. You can always find out how to get a reading with me over there. If you are working through what it's like to get past the politics of our last mid-year election, knowing there's another one possibly to come up, at least for Chicagoans in February, and we've got a bunch of holidays that we have to deal with in between now and then, and that gives you some anxiety, it might be time to reach out to get a tarot reading to figure out how to deal with the relationships that are a part of your life. And I can help you with that if you have some questions over at Comingouttarot.com. I hope you all have a great Thursday, and I'll see you all later. Thanks for being here.